Do you get the feeling that the rest of the world is always on time and it's just you who is always late? It's a surprisingly common problem. In 2014, a YouGov poll found that 19% of US workers are late for work at least once a week. And Joseph Harari, professor of psychology at DePaul University in Chicago, has established that 20% of people struggle with being on time. People are very quick to criticize our lack of punctuality. But if 1 in 5 of us is often late, what research has been carried out to help us understand or improve our behaviour? We aren't like the 80% of the population who find it easy to be punctual. Time seems to work differently for us. Writers of time management courses and books haven't grasped that we need an alternative approach. They seem to think everyone can follow simple instructions to change their behaviour. We need to creep up on the problem from a different angle if we're to find ways of arriving on time, because we have a little demon in our brains that is determined to make us late. This book explores our singular relationship with punctuality, because if we can find ways of improving our timekeeping, we will be improving lives. Not just our own lives, but the lives of the people we live and work with. Close to every person who is always late, there will be someone who needs to be early. And the sparks that fly between the two could power a city. Unfortunately for them, the early birds get the worst of the bargain, though they play an important role in our lives. They act like a pressure gauge. The nearer they get to exploding, the faster we move. So in the interests of reducing global tensions, we need to see if we can find better ways of becoming our own timekeepers. We can often be the last people to admit we have a problem. We always imagine that we're going to be on time. So it's easy to blame our lateness on the traffic, or the fact that we had something to do before we left home. It's only when we take a deep breath and recognise that it always happens, that we can start to see the problem as something personal. Although we'd all love to find a magic solution that will make us punctual, we know that's just a dream. We know from personal experience that there aren't any easy answers. It's very hard to change our behaviour because we've tried again and again. But if we can't find a way to simply reprogram our brains, there are other ways to address the issue. And in this book, you'll find some surprisingly simple and effective ideas to help you manage the problem. This book starts by mapping out the mental mazes which result in us being late, because once we understand what triggers our behaviour, we're halfway to the solution. Next, we open the Timebenders toolbox, which is packed with practical tips and ideas to help you be on time when it matters. After this, we take a step back to look at how our lateness patterns change at different points in our lives, where the special challenges lie, and how to deal with them. Once we have understood this broader perspective, we delve deeper into the subject by looking into the neuroscience of what is happening in our brains and whether therapy can help. Since many of the people reading this book will be looking for insights into how to live with someone who's always late, we offer advice about which strategies will help us improve our timekeeping and which are likely to have the opposite effect. Finally, we offer a selection of workbook exercises to help achieve long-term change.